Maya was 29 when everything in her life collapsed. She lived in a crowded apartment complex on the edge of Cairo, just outside the city center. Cracked walls, noisy neighbors, and constant water shortages. Her job as a hotel receptionist had barely paid enough, but at least it was something, until it was gone. The tourism wave dried up, the hotel shut down, and she was sent home with no savings, no severance, and no backup plan. She wasn't married, she didn't have kids, but she also had no one supporting her. Her mother lived in a rural village, taking care of her younger brother who had dropped out of school. Her uncle had a fruit stall, barely feeding his own family. And her two cousins, both jobless, like her. She was the smart one of the family, the one who made it to the city and held a decent job. And now, even she was broke. Not metaphorically broke. Maya had 42 Egyptian pounds left in her wallet. Her rent was overdue, and the lights had been off for 2 nights. That evening, she sat in silence. The kind of silence that presses against your skin and reminds you how far you've fallen. She whispered, "This can't be my life forever. I didn't come this far to just survive." She didn't know what that meant, but she knew she had to do something. The next morning, she walked to the city center, hoping to find job boards or hear something useful. That's when she passed by a crumbling building with a hand-painted sign in Arabic, "1 room for rent, cheap." She stopped and stared. The building was tired, like her, but something about that sign pulled her in. That night, instead of searching for jobs, she typed something different into YouTube. How to make money with property you don't own. Video after video popped up. Subletting, short-term rental arbitrage, zero capital Airbnb hosting. It was all in English, but she focused hard. She took notes, she replayed words she didn't understand. And by 3 a.m. she had written down one simple plan. Rent a room, furnish it, list it online, host travelers, make a profit, repeat. She had no furniture, no camera, no guests, but she had a plan, and when you're desperate, a plan feels like a miracle. Maya called the number on the sign. The landlord was older, suspicious, and tired of renters who didn't pay. She told him the truth. She didn't want to live there. She wanted to list it as a short-term rental and split the profit. She would clean it, manage it, and pay him monthly. He laughed, but after hearing her voice, her desperation, her sincerity, he gave her a chance. Maya borrowed a mattress from her cousin, found an old curtain in a street market, cleaned the floor on her knees with soap and a broken sponge. She didn't even have a mop. She used her scarf to polish the window. Then she borrowed her uncle's smartphone to take photos, angled to catch the only sunlight that slipped through the cracked blinds. She created an online listing with a basic title, "Quiet Room, Cairo, Budget Price." She prayed, and she waited. Her first guest booked within 4 days. Maya made £300 that weekend. She didn't buy clothes. She didn't buy food she craved. She bought better bed sheets, a second-hand lamp, and a packet of tea bags for the next guest. She treated that tiny room like a 5-star property, and soon her reviews started glowing. Clean and peaceful. Host responds quickly. Felt like home. 1 room became 2. She found another landlord nearby willing to try the same model, then a third, then a fourth. She was still broke on paper, still wore the same shoes, still washed her clothes by hand, but she had income and ownership of her time. By age 31, she was managing 5 rental units she didn't even own. She hired her cousin to help her clean. She trained her younger brother to handle online messages. Her family started believing in her vision because they saw food on the table again. She studied more, watched real estate investing videos at night, took notes on property laws, learned how to negotiate lease terms, started tracking which neighborhoods had the most guest traffic and least competition. She wasn't hustling randomly anymore, she was building a system. Her turning point came when she saw a for sale sign on a 1-bedroom flat in a neighborhood others ignored. Old pipes, cracked walls, weak lighting. But Maya saw value. The price was low, too low. She ran the numbers. If she took a microloan, renovated it herself, and listed it, she could make double the return in a year. She applied at the bank and got rejected, but she didn't stop. She asked her uncle to co-sign the loan. She showed him a full written plan, guest projections, renovation costs, repayment schedule. He agreed. She bought the unit for $7,000. Her cousins helped her fix it up using second-hand materials. She painted the walls herself. Her first guest stayed 2 weeks. Her second guest booked the whole month. By month 3, the loan repayments were on time, and she was already making profit. That apartment changed everything. Now, at 34, Maya owns 12 properties. 8 of them are short-term rentals. 4 are student housing. She has a small team she trained herself, a part-time manager, 2 family members on payroll, a life she once thought impossible. She isn't flashy, she doesn't post on social media. She still walks to some of her properties on foot, but she's free. Maya built her way out of poverty, without investors, without luck, without even furniture. She built it with grit, with strategy, with vision. She learned that the biggest walls in her life were in her mind, that you don't need to own the world to take control of your story. You just need to move, one room at a time. She used to be the girl who couldn't afford electricity. Now she pays the electricity bills for her mom and covers her brother's school fees. And when women ask her where to start, she says, right where you are. Even if all you have is a cracked phone and a borrowed mattress, start there. That's where I started too. Because Maya knows one thing for sure. You don't have to be rich to start in real estate. You just have to see what others ignore and move before you feel ready.